You know how many of those jobs went to American-born citizens? Minus 127,000. You know what the employment situation is for American-born citizens today? Over that 14-year period, because of the lost jobs, coupled with population growth, you now have 17 million more American citizens who are unemployed today than in the year 2000. That's why we have to focus on this southern border.
All right, and he's talking about the Canadian border. That's Congressman Mo Brooks, Republican from Alabama, House Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee member. We are in the process of trying to bring him aboard, and when we get him, we'll go right to him. He is vehemently opposed for America trying to raise, train, and arm a rebel army to fight in Syria's civil war. He's also concerned about that. But let's focus on what happened today in Canada and what we have learned so far. The shooter that was killed inside the Canadian Parliament, we now have his name. We don't have his name, but authorities have given his name to the FBI. And what that means exactly, we'll find out. But joining us now is Congressman Brooks. Hello, Congressman.
Hi.
Good to talk to you, sir. What can you tell us, if anything, that you have heard or may know about the dead terrorist, whoever he may be, in Canada? Reportedly, that name has been given to our FBI to try to figure out if it's a real name, who he is, and what his motives might have been.
I'm afraid there's not much I can do to help you with that. I'm learning it pretty much as you are, as you see it on the internet or on TV.
What goes through your mind when you see, I mean, my gosh, we just had our own White House, compromised a couple of weeks ago, and now the Canadian Parliament, as a congressman, what goes through your mind when you see how easy it was for these two men to gain entry?
Well, it's a risk that we are taught to be aware of when you're in the United States Congress. For example, a year or so ago, there was an individual who was caught over near Union Station headed towards the United States Capitol. He had on his suicide vest. He had an automatic weapon. Fortunately, our security folks, FBI and whomever else, Capitol Police and whomever else was involved, was able to ascertain his intent with sufficient time to be able to stop him from doing the kind of damage that he intended to do. And it's probably akin to what was done in Canada, perhaps worse.
Does the fact that the FBI put out a warning to enhance alertness after this act, and that we put more guards at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington Cemetery, does that indicate to you that the belief is that this was ISIS related or jihad related as opposed to something else?
I think it's too early to make that kind of conclusion. But we do need to be, in a general sense, regardless of what happened in Canada, we need to be on guard as much as we possibly can be, keeping in mind that we're a free society. And I say that because we do have enemies around the globe, and they have uttered threats against us. It was only 13 years ago that they killed thousands of Americans, and their intent to do evil upon the United States of America has not stopped. Fortunately, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and every other law enforcement intelligence agency that's involved in this process, they've done a fairly good job of stopping a number of terrorist attacks that were launched against the United States of America. I've had access to classified documents, and it's probably in excess of 50 now, and thousands of American lives have been saved as a consequence of our intelligence capabilities and our law enforcement reaction capabilities.
You've talked about the Canadian border in a varied context, but how concerned are you? You know, all the focus, and rightfully so, is on the Mexican border. We've seen how easy that is, and we've had reports, probably you know a lot more than I do about this, of terrorists or potential terrorists coming across from the south. How vulnerable are we from the north?
We don't focus that much on the north, although when you look at the terrorists associated with 9/11, a significant number of them came through Canada. Canada has always been a close friend and ally of the United States of America. We've not had the kind of surges in illegal immigration from Canada that we've had from Mexico. Bottom line is we just have to be vigilant. It doesn't make any difference if it's our northern border or our southern border. We have to be vigilant. And with respect to immigration, we need to have a president who will take the time and effort to enforce our laws.
Congressman, I hope you'll come back again. We could talk more about ISIS and the Syrian rebels. And thanks for participating in your remarks
Certainly.
on the breaking news. Thank you.
Take care.
Congressman Mo Brooks, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, Newsmax Deputy Financial Editor Rob Williams will be here, and we'll find out what the markets did today and why and how were they affected by what happened in Canada. Straight ahead.